Welcome to Inside the Grey, episode 4. I want to talk about freedom, which I've been thinking about. True freedom in society today, because I feel like our freedoms are sort of just trying to be taken away gradually with offensiveness, feelings over, like people are too scared to think now, because people have made it too difficult for them to voice their opinion without backlash or fear of losing something that they need to survive. Freedom is now just been made a thing that people can have if you act the right way, and it's not really freedom, it's going with the flow of what's acceptable, sort of accepted lifestyle, rather than making your own choices, being free to express your ideas and have a sort of back and forth with someone else that has different ideas from you. You may not agree, but you're having a back and forth and sort of advancing the ideas and the spaces that you have found these sort of people to talk to. But now, if you voice any opinions that these people don't like or other people don't like, you're sort of silenced or deemed something that you're not. And I feel like attack on freedom is slowly making people quiet. So again, as I've said in previous episodes, cattle-like, easy to move around, more accepting of like a structure being put ahead of them, and just sort of not being people with agency, choice, just being pushed into sort of a path of this is your direction and this is what you should stay on, and if you stray from it there will be consequences. And I just feel like people need to look up and realize that the consequences are just these people that don't really have anything other than being loud. Like the vast majority of people are being silent because of these loud minority of people, and they're the ones that are dictating pace of the world and sort of the ideas that are allowed to be spoke. But you sort of to find people to bring their own ideas forward in that noise and drown out the sole idea of there is correct think, rather than just there is thinking and there is truth that is out there. People can come to that truth dancing with ideas together better than just having one side dictate what reality is to other people. And I feel like people need to realize they have their own voice and they really can't be silenced if they don't want to be. The consequence that they think is there is all in their mind, and they need to use their freedom of expression, their freedom to, do the things that they want, freedom of speech, offensiveness laws that, their feelings are sort of should be taken into account is just ridiculous to me. Because what stops someone from down the line going, oh, this is your science is offensive to me, if you're, whatever they feel could be offensive to them and deemed, against the law at some point in the future. Like, you feel like it's ridiculous at this point in the present at some points, but when you really look at it, what you thought was impossible previously is now happening, and you really need to bring yourself to that point of, we can't let them have these sorts of laws that dictate what freedom is. You need to have freedom to, really act. And if you need permission to say something, you're not free. If you need a pass to go forward, you're not free either. You're just someone that lives in someone else's house. And what you've got to remember is the house is not theirs to own. It's everybody's, and we can decide if enough people get together to get rid of these ridiculous offensiveness laws or any sort of curbing of freedom of speech or sort of laws that sort of dictate how you can express yourself or make it offensiveness to offend anybody, which is ridiculous to me. Like, how do you decide what's actually offensive? It just doesn't make any sense. There's no real definition of these ideas. It's just a grey area that makes them have the power to decide what is allowed to be said. And it just makes me feel sick, really. Just how easily manipulated people are into thinking that these laws are necessary, when really, like, the freedom should be people's priority. Like, freedom to create something beautiful or say something, even if it's controversial, or if it's something, just, sort of put these ideas out there and let the sun, let it grow or destroy it. Like, what happens is these people that you disagree with, they go to the dark and they just sort of find holes to sort of brew sort of own ideas and fight more in a way that's negative, rather than being brought out to discuss things properly in a civilized manner, and be shown that their ideas are in a way wrong or right. Discourse of freedom of the truth, rather than what is dictated to be fact and truth when it's not. You just need to really think these things through and decide who truly has your best sort of interests, ideas for you, and it's you and people like you who want to have freedom, true freedom in this world, rather than what you're allowed to do, and you sort of be dictated what time you can go out, where you can go. So if that's the way it will go, and you'll think it's funny, you'll think it's conspiracy theory, but when it happens, just remember back to the moment when you could have done something, and that's sort of where I'll leave it. Mull things over, think something else.